everyone, I'm Resti Hadiyanti Fauzi as a moderator of Group 2. So we're going to presentate about English 21st century.
Respectable language in this world.
Emergence of an international or global.
Three circle of English.
On the impressive number of English.
That justifies the international status of
internationally and cross-culturally.
That the spirit of English is real.
English, which is the universal language
Of international communication.
The first material will be read by Resta. To Resta, time is yours.
English in the 21st century. The second president of the United States, his name is John Adams. He was made a prophecy about the future role of English in the world on September 23, 1780 that should eventually prove true. Adams said English will be the most respectable language in this world and most universally read and spoken in the next century, if not before the close of this one. And when on that it was destined to be the next succeeding centuries, more generally the language of the world than Latin was, the less of French in the present age.
So thanks to Resta for the explanation. Next material will be read by Ammar. To Ammar, time is yours.
The emergence of an international or global language is always closely linked with political, cultural, and economic power, and so historically the status of English in the world today is due to two main reasons. The first, English spread across the world with the expansion of British colonial power, which reached its peak in the end of the 19th century. Second, the maintained international status and increasing spread of English in the 20th century is the result of the establishment of the United States as the leading economic and military power. It is important to note that there is general agreement, at least among linguists, that such a development is not related to any special intrinsic linguistic qualities of the language, as has occasionally been claimed.
Thanks to Ammar. Next material will be read by Ayu and Hanif. To Ayu and Hanif, time is yours.
Estimate of non-native user of English range from several hundred million to over 2 billion. But whatever the exact total, English today is without doubt the most widely used language in the world. Users of English even outnumber the speaker of Chinese dialects. The vast majority of users of English today are those non-native speakers of the language, and their proportion is increasing constantly. Ratu tries to account for the different functions of English in different territories by introducing the three circles of English.
The present global status of English is based in part on the impressive number of English speakers and users in the world, with an increasing importance being attributed to the non-native speakers of the language. Unfortunately, the term speakers and users are not clearly defined and quantitative estimates, especially of non-native speakers, thus very considerable. The number of native speakers seems to pose least difficulties and is widely accepted to be somewhere between 340 and 400 million. Accurate numbers of speakers for whom English is not the mother tongue are much more difficult to establish and depend largely on the definition of the minimum level of proficiency that can be counted as English speaking.
Thanks to Ayu and Hanif. Next material will be read by Intan and Keysha. To Intan and Keysha, time is yours.
Inseparably linked with the enormous numbers of speakers is another important factor,
that justifies the international status of English, namely its position as the global lingua franca, as the language that is used for communication by people who do not have a common native language. India is perhaps the most striking example for the use of English as a lingua franca, together with Hindi as an essential tool for intra-Indian interaction.
This is about internationally and cross-culturally. There are a number of activities and subjects that are carried out predominantly in English across the world. To name but a few of these domains, English today is a dominant global language in international relations. It is used as a lingua franca in most international organizations and companies and at nearly all international gatherings. English dominates the media and especially academic publication, and communication plays an important role in international travel and sport, including the means of controlling international transport.
So, after what our friend just described, what reasonable conclusion could we draw? How about Naya and Ratu?
So guys, we can conclude from the large number speaker of English around the world and with the current use of language that the spirit of English is unique.
My name is Ratu Permata Kandiska. Well, English is a very unique language, both from geographically and functionally. And English is also the first ever globally spoken language in history. However, English can also be considered as a threat to languages who have a few speakers, because English, which is the universal language, can make the small language extinct due to the reduced number of speakers.
Now for Tiara, why English 21st century is very important? Can you explain to us?
It is the language of science, computer, diplomacy, and tourism. Last but not least, it is the language of international communication in the media and the internet. Thank you, bye-bye.
So I think that's all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.